I hear a lot of people listening to this right now being like, well, I want to start courses, but I could never do that, which is where like this whole imposter syndrome
Mhm.
portion comes into play. And I guess let's first talk about, have you dealt with imposter syndrome in your life?
Yeah, I have, like most people, and I've actually done research on it because I've taught on this before. I incorporate some content on imposter syndrome in my fear talks dating back to 2015. And so the more that I studied it, the more I understood it, and the more it helped me deal with it. So I think part of it is just shining a light on understanding what this is and how many people it affects, so you don't let it have a hold on you. And what I mean by that is, if you don't understand it, then it can kind of hold you hostage where you actually believe those thoughts and
Mm,
you don't act and you don't create the course and you don't do anything because you think those thoughts are right. It fears a bad sign. If I was supposed to do it, then I'd be so confident and fearless like everybody else seems to be, and you will be held hostage. And so I love the fact that we're talking about this because I would love to just help shine a light on it for understanding where you can hear those thoughts go, oh, I know what that is. Okay, I'm going to do it anyway. Right? Like it's like when you understand it, it doesn't have to keep you stuck.
yeah. How would you define imposter syndrome if someone isn't familiar with the term?
The most basic way to describe it, I guess, would be the fear of being found out. So it's like you feel like a fraud
Hmm.
and you're scared people are going to find out that you're a fraud, meaning
Hmm.
everybody else has something that you don't have. Everybody else that is winning in this space or doing what you want to do, they either have experience you don't have, they have skills you don't have, they have knowledge you don't have, they have credentials, certifications, education that you don't have that qualifies them, and because you don't have it, you are unqualified, and everybody's going to find out. Everybody's going to find out that you don't actually know what you're doing. And the
Yeah.
reality is, though, is no one in business knows what they're doing. They're just making crap up every day. They're just trying stuff and they're seeing what works. Now, does that lead to more failures and flops and setbacks? Absolutely. But they're also able to achieve success and wins and huge breakthroughs and impact and come up with cures for diseases and products
Mm,
that solve people's problems because they're willing to try a bunch of stuff that doesn't work so they get to the stuff that does. And so I think that first, just understanding that no one doesn't feel like a fraud sometimes. Everyone
mm.
has self-doubt sometimes, unless they're just very unself-aware and cocky. Most people struggle with this. And so you are
Yeah.
not alone. This is normal. Let's start with that. This is so normal.
Yeah. No, I love that. And so when it comes to figuring out what are the lies we're believing, what is your insight and wisdom for helping someone navigate that?
Well, first let's just go to the science of it. So, researchers when they coined this term imposter syndrome in the 70s, they identified that at that time, and I think they still say the numbers have stayed about the same in terms of the effect on the population. Up to 70% of people suffer from it. But here's what's
Oof.
fascinating. The people that suffer from it the most are high achievers. So, someone sitting on their couch eating Cheetos, binge watching Netflix all day, isn't really worried if they're enough and they deserve a spot at the table. It's the people on the front lines. It's the people that are
Wow.
moving and shaking and starting businesses and ministries and nonprofits, people making things happen. They're looking over their shoulder going, I don't know. I don't know if I'm allowed to do this. I, is someone going to like am I going to get my hand slapped? Am I going to get in trouble? Like we're just waiting for permission. And when it never comes, because it never will, by the way, then we just struggle with this self doubt of deserving to be there.
Mm,
And so when we understand that it is a normal phenomenon that 70% of people struggle with, usually high achievers. And here's what really helped me: even famous people, super successful people, super
mm.
wealthy people, super, um, well known people suffer from it. So Maya Angelou is quoted as saying, I have written 11 books. And each time I think, they're going to find out now. I've run a game on everybody and they're going to find me out. That's Maya
Wow.
Angelou. Kate Winslet, Titanic, award winning actress. Kate Winslet, beautiful, perfect, like can do no wrong. Like she's amazing. She's quoted as saying, every morning I would wake up and go off to a shoot. And I would think to myself, I can't do this. I'm a fraud. Kate Winslet, y'all. So when I learned that, Zoe, and I was like, okay, Maya Angelou, Kate Winslet, and me, I'm in good company. These are
Mm,
people that feel this way and they just do it anyway. They write the
yeah.
next book, they go to the next shoot, they feel that feeling and they do it anyway. They truly, like I've said for years, they do it scared. They don't wait until they're not scared to do the thing. They do it while they're scared. And that has become my motto because I've realized the fear's never gone. Even the word fearless kind of irritates me because I'm like, are we ever fearless? I just feel the fear and I just do it anyway. And I think that's really important. It's what sets the people that do things apart from those that don't. Everybody has fear. It's
Mm.
just some people choose to do it anyway.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. And so I want to kind of hone in on, let's say that you have a friend or a family member who definitely is suffering from imposter syndrome. How can we support those people?
Yeah. So I think the idea of doing something new or big is really intimidating. And so I
Mm,
love to break things down to really small, simple steps because those are less intimidating. What happens
love
is when
that.
you take small, simple baby steps, as common as this is, or people probably think of, what happens is you create a momentum. And
Mm,
that momentum makes the second step easier and the third step easier. And with every step you're taking, you're building confidence. You're combating the fear with action where the fears torment you. You can't do this. You're like, but I'm doing it. Like I did those three things. I can do the fourth. I
mm,
can do the fifth. So it's taking the big dream and boiling it down into something very small. So I'll give you an example. I feel like that God is calling me into something in the I don't even want to say special needs because it's not just special needs. It's special needs and unseen struggles. So autism,
mm,
ADHD, OCD, dyslexia, like all of the unseen struggles, whether it's a disorder or a disability or a special need. He's calling me into that space. And
mm,
it's been a year of my own processing my son's diagnosis. I think I probably have ADHD. I'm looking into it, but just it's been a year of processing. And now he's like, and now it's time to go. And we're going to
mm,
go create community and shine a light in this space. Well, I don't even know what the dream is yet, honestly. I think it's a
mm,
ministry. I think it's community. I think it's resources. I think it's bringing awareness and advocacy. I think there's a lot to it, but I don't totally see it. But here's what I'm going to do today. Today, I'm going to form a nonprofit. I'm going to begin to apply for tax exempt status, which that's not a small step. Let's just be honest. The government websites will make you want to crawl in the fetal position. But I'm going to search a URL. I'm going to go to GoDaddy.com and search
mm,
different names that I could
yeah.
name this to secure a URL. I'm going to put something out on Instagram even though I wasn't ready. And I create a very, very unfancy Google form for people to sign up if they're interested in following on this journey. I have hundreds of people that have signed that Google form now that when I'm ready to launch this ministry to, I have a launch team that literally all I'm going to do is import those email addresses into my email software because I was just willing to capture them by saying, hey, I've got no makeup. I'm not ready. And I'm so nervous to tell y'all this, but I think I have ADHD. My son has autism. I'm scared out of my mind and I know God's going to use me. So, anyway, there's my big presentation. Would you like to sign up? It's so unimpressive, but it's just a
Mm,
baby step of faith.
mm,
And one leads to the next, leads to the next, leads to the next. And then someone says, hey, I've got this connection over here. Hey, I've got a therapist here. Hey, if you need to connect with so and so, hey, I've got a, right? Like, and then it's just
wow.
those baby steps create the momentum. And the thing that I tell people all the time is, the antidote to fear is action. Nothing will silence your fear of doing the thing like doing the things, but so go do the thing. But the thing could be a small thing. So go do a
Mm,
small thing. And with every small thing that you do, you're actually making progress towards the big thing, by the way. But you're also combating fear with action, with proof, and you're building your confidence. So, you know, 25 steps into this, fear can't go, this is never going to work. You can't be like, look, man, I got hundreds of people on a Google. I've got proof. Fear
yeah.
can't whisper to me before I go on a stage like it used to. Fear can't whisper, you can't do this. They're gonna hate you. I'm like, dude,
Mm,
I've done this for 13 years. One person may hate me, and there's one angry person in every crowd. For everybody else, I'm here to serve them.
mm,
You have that confidence that is built on lived experience,
mm,
but you have to live that experience to have that proof and that authentic confidence to stand on. In the meantime, you're just doing it scared, like we all are, by the way. You're not an imposter. You're not a fraud or a poser. You're doing what all successful people do, which is you're doing it despite your fear, one little unimpressive step at a time.
whew.